we started the school in Pune city, where we started off with mother's womb. And Abhimanyu concept with ancient India's theory. And everybody said, nobody's going to send you kid, no mothers are going to come. And started after birth 6 weeks old. And this was at 60 Koregaon Park, 3rd lane. And you know what? Everybody said, you're crazy. And we started our school right opposite Primrose and right next to Kangaroo Kid. All three of us were together. And everybody said, you're making a big mistake, bad for business. I said, this is not a business school. No, sir, come on, think of it. You need parents, no? For 6 months, I didn't have one child. 6 months. I had 15 teachers, vice principal, and me, 18 of us. And my teachers used to say, sir, when are we going to get children to teach? So I should tell them, when you're ready, just watch. And you know what? In about exact time, I don't recollect, between 6 months and all, first 2 kids came down. They were both Italian kids. I still remember Francisco and June, boy and a girl. And they came down and took their admission. And in about 2 years' time, what started happening in our garden outside, there was a huge tree, Koregaon Park, you see. So I got this idea. There were almost 100 feet long rope for a jhula. And you can imagine, forget about the children doing the jhula, even parents wanted to do that jhula. And there was laughter, fun, joy, you could hear a lot of sound. And parents from Primrose and the Kangaroo Kids started dropping into our school. This is how it started. Come, I will take you on a cross, and this is an interaction session. I'm not going to teach you anything. You all are a great kid and you all are a great parent already. Otherwise, how could you be here with us? Yeah? We all have got a divine mission. And this question often, what I have put it up there, that now that you're here, learn how to place your child into the world and with guaranteed success. Is it good to make your child a world topper? You will be surprised. I have quite a few parents who said, I don't want my child to be world topper. I said, okay, tell me something. I asked them this question. When you were in the school, like all of us, when we were in the school, did anybody tell you, any teacher tell you, hey, you're a good kid, you're a smart kid, why don't you work with me? I will make you an all-rounder state topper. Only state topper. Did anybody tell you? No. Would it have been a good idea if you were told? Yes. Absolutely. I wish somebody had told me. You know what I ask my kids today? You know what I tell them? I said, you monkeys, I'm jealous of you. They say, why, sir? I said, I wish I had your education. I'll be a world topper today. I have no doubt amongst each one of us, huge number of us would have been world topper. And India is to produce world topper. Those days, do you recollect Abhimanyu concept? Have you ever heard anybody like Abhimanyu? Have you read? Even every day, let's say you say it's a story. Okay, it's a story. Let's say it's a story. Have you ever heard a story like that being made in America or England or somewhere? No. By the way, we must not look down upon them, because I got quite a few examples where the mothers of those children created great kids. And you and I know about them. Why all these books is to share with you, because see, whatever I'm talking, in IB and in Vedanta, you have to have evidence. Without evidence, it's just talking. So it cannot be just talk. It has to be substantiated with facts and figures and practicality. And that is the purpose of our Victorious Kidss. I'm so glad. And we need more. And you excite, my request to each one of you is to share the message. Whether they're a part of the school or not, it doesn't matter. Our intention is not to just have admissions. And that is why you must have seen we don't give advertisements for admission. You will never find one. Why? We said those of them who are supposed to come here, they will come. And most of you know, and I know some of your story, how you happen to come down here. It has been a pure connection. We got connected. Like you, look at me. I'm a monkey. I'm just a fighting pilot. And you know what? You'll be amazed to hear I was declared, and those days, in my days, it wasn't there. Today I come to know what was I declared. You know what is it? I was declared today's words. That time they were not, this word did not exist. ADHD and dyslexic. Meaning, I used to write mirror image. And I didn't like writing. You know what? I'll just tell you a story and we'll get along with us. You know, when I was about 6 years of age, naturally, mother had to take their education those days. So right from 3-4 years of age, mother used to write, cursive writing book and fill it up. And you know what? I didn't want to write. We have 5 brothers and a sister. 4:30 in the morning, father used to take us out. I'm giving you this example, some of them, because I realized today, if I have to live all over again, I would want to do it again. Same thing. 4:30 in the morning, my father used to take us out till 7:30 in the morning. Training, physical training. We had a beautiful bungalow right in front of the river Ganges, and right in front of, we were the last building. There was a beautiful, if you can Google it, it's still today. Chandan Nagar was the French occupied territory. So the terrorists of Indians, so-called, they were called terrorists those days, who were independence movement makers. They used to be chased by the British people to capture them. Our Indians who were fighting, Khudiram Basu and all those names. And they used to run away to Chandanagar because it was French occupied territory. And my father chose to put us there. It was a different kind of a city. Here, 4 o'clock in the morning, I had to get up. I still remember, I can't be more than 5, 6, 7. I had to go out and pick bel patta and flower for my mother to do puja. And I had to finish it in 15-20 minutes, otherwise I'll get late for 4:30. And 4:30 all of us used to go out and practice, play, have fun till about 3 hours. 7:30 we used to come back. Please come. And just, I have not forgotten them. First thing, at the end, my father used to say, we have 5 brothers and sister was the youngest. We were all made to do a 100 meters dash. And now my elder brother, you may have heard their name. One of them is the 3rd brother, is the sports director of the school, right? And both of them, elder brother and the 3rd brother, both are Arjun Award winner, gold medalist, Olympic. You know the Thomas Cup, badminton Thomas Cup, they're badminton. If you Google them, you will find them, Sir Robbin Ghosh. And what? All of us played for India. What was so great about playing for India? Those days, today you can't think of it. India team, my God. But if you pick up the kids right from the beginning, father used to say, anybody can be good in academics. But good in sports and good in academics, both have to be there side by side. And I don't mind if you stand 1st, 2nd, 3rd, but not less than 3rd. That means what you're lessening your intelligence, not applying. And none of us stood more than, I never stood more than 3rd. And you know what? I never worked hard. I keep asking myself, why didn't I? You know why? Because nobody asked me. Nobody asked me. That's why my point is it good to be a world topper? What is world topper? Being excellent in whatever you're doing and more or less number 1. Whatever you do. You're doing a great cooking, why not be a world-best chef? Whatever I touch, whatever my child touches, he is a perfectionist, okay? Not being a stickler, but just by fun. I'm going to cover up all this. You know, 6 years of age, after father used to go away, now mother used to tell us, write. And I never wanted to write. And mother, I was the 4th one and really bad. You will be surprised what was my nickname. Some of you know, I've heard it. I used to be called by mother Bichu. You know why? Because, and that Bichu became Bachu. My name is Bachu, everybody says so. Because they didn't want to naturally insult me every time in front of everybody, because everybody will look down upon me. So they converted to Bachu, but they knew the meaning. Why? Because I wouldn't do what Mama would tell me. You all have kids like that. You know what? One day I remember my father came back from office. He used to come back at about 7:30 in the evening. 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. 8:15 he used to leave. And come back 7:30. I'm still recollecting. And he was climbing up the staircase. That bungalow was a 2-floor. We used to be primarily in the front floor, and the ground floor used to be utilized for various other purposes. Mother was standing there. She had fired the hell out of me that day and said, wait. Usual complaint to father. Poor mommy. I really troubled her. You know, father came up and mother said, do you know what he has done? And Usually all of us are faced sometime or the other. Father looked at her, didn't say anything. He just didn't tell me anything. I was naturally standing vehemently. I happened to have been my father's best favorite. Fourth one. I don't know why he liked me, whatever reason. He used to love everybody. Elder brother was also naturally the most respected one. And most of them never stood second. Now, father just put his hand around my mother. I've not forgotten. And he just took her inside. I don't know what he said. Mother didn't tell me anything thereafter. Next day morning, as he was leaving, at about 8ish or so, he gives me a beautiful diary, you know, a big diary. Those days, nothing written on it, old diary, but nice, new, brand new page, and in which he has written, his handwriting was very good. He had written it down, 6 pages, and before going, he gave me, and I was jumping. I said, what do I have to do? He said, why don't you write these 6 pages? You know what? I landed up writing 10 pages. And I was waiting for father to come back. And mind you, I was dyslexic, I didn't like writing, and I was hyper. ADHD. Today's term, I didn't know those terms. Those days I'm not my parent. I don't think it was discovered either. As father was climbing up the staircase, I was standing, jumping. I want to tell him, I want to show him, I want to show him. Mother said, wait, and she was smiling. Wait, let him come up, let him have something to eat. I said, no, I want to show him right now. You all have faced kids like this. Father, as he comes up, I show it to him. See, I have done it, I've done it. So he looks at it. One hand he was holding the briefcase, on the left hand. I've not forgotten that scene. He looks at it, and my mother was on the other side. I'm right next to him. He looks at my mom and says, you were complaining yesterday he doesn't want to write. Why did you help him today? She was smiling, she didn't answer anything. I said, she didn't help me, I have written. He looked at me and he said, you, this handwriting. I said, why? It's so good. It can't be your writing. Mommy must have helped you. I said, no, it's my writing. You know what? I'm beautiful in writing today, because after that, just one sentence from father, I kept on wanting to write. And today, those of you like to, if you see, today, I don't know if you all know, do you all know my, not mine, the body of this physical, age of this physical body? What's the age of this body? Anybody knows?
85.
Do you know?
85.
Sorry? I've crossed 80 on 25th of June. Do I look tired, old, doddering, with a stick, walking? I don't need specs, I don't need hearing aid. What? I say it was a gift. I was told again and again and again, and all of us, that you will do it. You know what? If you come to my drawer, you will see I still use cursive writing. Not every day, sometimes I feel like I write. You can see that it is written. And I love to write down. Most of us write, I can see a lot of notebooks. I love to write it down. Today, have you noticed most of us have, we learned in the school what? Learning to write? learning to read, learning to do arithmetic. 3 things. We actually call it 5 R. I'll come into that slide later. Research and responsibility of your own learning. These are the other 2 R. Writing. We all know how to write. Everybody knows we are educated. Tell me, how many adults do you know in your world of knowingness who can't sleep at night because I have not written? Writing is more or less. If you're a manager or holding a senior position in your company, or if you're the owner of a company, it's very difficult to find somebody who does a good composition for you, isn't it? Reading. We all learn how to read, we know how to read. Tell me something, how many adults do you know today who can't sleep because I have not read for the day? We watch TV and go to sleep. And so what do? In the morning when you wake up, you still think about the same scene which you saw in the fighting skill or whatever it was going on, isn't it? Then the first question comes up. Why can't you sleep with your subconscious mind, plant a little seed? You'll be surprised that seed, just before you go off to sleep, you flake out, it is working in your mind. The subconscious. Many of you must have read this book or heard of it. Joseph Murphy, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Please come. Power of your subconscious mind. Utilize it for your kid. Read it to them. You remember that bedtime story reading, grandma? My grandma used to read it to me. And my brothers and all that, they were elder. I have not forgotten those reading. I have become a great reader. And I love reading. I used to, of course, read some some junk also. Like I still remember James Hadley Chase and Peter Masson. Many of you may not have seen them. And of course, some of them you know, like Robinson Crusoe, Robin Hood, Jim Corbett. I used to read all of them. And also along with that Panchatantra, Mahabharata, Ramayana, little stories. How did it all develop? It all developed because of somebody said something. I'm talking about being a topper. Where? Wherever you go. What would you like to see amongst your crowd? Today they are. I know they are. In a crowd of 10, 12, 15 kids in your society, you can see your kids as outstanding, standing out. They will stand out. One of the great characteristics of our kid, I will tell you, and you as a parent are telling me that. And you know what is it? Today, if you want to do, it's called, Vedanta. What is Vedanta? Vedanta is nothing else. It is not big Sanskrit book. Or we are not teaching them Sanskrit or making them read Upanishads or Veda. Vedanta concept is nothing else but telling you, who's you? You, the child, you, the parent, you, the teacher. You don't know who you are. You're not a name or a body or a form or a function. Sanskrit, Vedanta says, Nama Rupa Babhuhara. Shankaracharya is writing, Mano Buddhi Chitta Ahankar Na Aham. I'm not mind, intellect, memory, ego. And you and I think, where is Robbin Ghosh? Yeah, can't you see me? This is Robbin Ghosh. Who is this? A body, a name, a form, a function, a play, a role that you play in your company, in your office, in your home. I'm the mother, I'm the father, I'm the president, I'm the vice chairman, or I am the, the senior team leader, something. I play that role all the time. And Shankaracharya is saying, Mano Buddhi Chitta Ahankar Na Aham. Chidananda Rupoham Shivoham Shivoham. What does this mean? Vedanta is saying discover, uncover who you are. That's all. Who are you? Am I this little body, this little name, this form, little function? This is my ability. If you do not have the ability, or if your child doesn't have, you as the parent, you as the teacher, have not discovered it or guided him to discover. So discovering, what is uncovering? Supposing your anniversary or birthday, let's say 14th February, Valentine's Day, you have got a beautiful gift from your wife or husband, And you've also given a beautiful gift. You took a lot of pain in tying a beautiful ribbon and butterflies and all those things. It looks so beautiful that your wife or husband, your partner, is naturally delighted but doesn't want to open it. You say, bhai, kholo. Not now, later. You're not uncovering what's inside. What does it mean? You're not uncovering what's inside of you. What do we think today? Where is success out there? Where is out there? In a great country, in America, in Australia, in London, and something like that. Or in a big school, or in a big college. Hey, success is not in Victorious Kidss. Success is within the child, within you. And we say discovering that success from within the child is parenting, is schooling. And that success is within. It's not out there. You also know, because you all are well traveled, otherwise we cannot get connected. I'm just reinforcing it. I'm telling you again, let us wake up. Do not think, my child, world topper. Yeah. How can it be? You know why? Because you and I haven't been there. Then how did I start thinking of it? I haven't been there. But it all happened, and sometime along the slide it will come up. It all happened because I became one. And when I became one, I said, you monkey, Robbin Ghosh, if you can do it today, I will tell you the exact sequence and all that little later as the slide comes up. I become a world topper in the FAA, Federal Aviation Authority certification. 150 pilots, top pilots across the world, globe, and participated on that. And I was sent by Indian Air Force to represent Indian Air. I never stood first, second, third, more than that. Generally, sometimes first, sometimes second, sometimes third. I never made an effort. When I joined the Air Force, because the Air Force life and my way of life just meshed like that. If you love doing something, you will do it very good. I was topping. Wherever I went, I became topper. You know why my name is Robin? I'm actually Robbin Ghosh. Air Force let me Robin Hood. Why? Because I always hit the target. It's very difficult to hit the target. Target are two. One is on time. Supposing you're given 10:32, you will hit Lahore. I have to hit at 10:32. I was always plus minus 2 seconds. Can you imagine? I can't imagine myself when I started off and I realized, wow, I could do it. And I always hit the target. A target was a very simple, such a high speed flying aircraft, and it was a 6 feet diameter and 12 feet tall, a pin. I used to hit that pin. Within 5 yards, if I hit, it's called a direct shot. And I used to more often not hit it, whether with a rocket or with a gun or with a bomb. Who is this monkey? And say every one of us are. I realized it today. And when I became, I asked myself, champion, if you could do it today, why didn't you do it in your 10th standard? I didn't. Why? Because nobody told me, hey monkey, work with me, I'll make you one. Why did the brothers and all become India stuck there? Because father used to say, it's not difficult. You can easily do it. He never said it's not very difficult to stand first. He said first, second, third, all are okay. But you have to be good in sports, good in academics, and so this is called the paradigm shift. What the other one? Ethical manifestation. Unless you have ethical manifestation, you cannot do the paradigm shift. Vedanta. What does that mean? Paradigm shift is change the way you look at the world, change the way you are. And ethical manifestation, please come inside. You're welcome. What is ethical manifestation? Even in a joke, you and I starting, each one of us, please start today and watch the miracle. What? Don't tell lies, even in a joke. You know, telling lie is a part of our life today. I ask everybody, how many do you know who don't tell lies? And new parents, whenever I talk to them, I tell them, Have you noticed when you walk into our school, right above the front head desk, I don't know if you've noticed it while going out, see it, all four sides written Satyameva Jayate. Truth alone will make you win. Mundaka Upanishad, not Mandakya, had written it down for India. Ashok Stambha was made by Ashoka for Indians to follow it. What happened to us? You know what happened to us? Right from 16th century on with the induction of the British education system, and we were taken for a nice ride. And we were told, don't study. What? Ramayana, Mahabharata, Vedas, Upanishad. You'll be surprised, Lord Macaulay, who came, he was sent by Queen Victoria. Those of you like, all these are documented with me. I can share with you, and most of it is already occupied in the website. And this presentation will also be in the website. You can have a look at it on your own. And the recorded version will also be there in the link. So you can listen to it as and when you like to, or share. Basic intention ours is what? Vivekananda, who brought India to the world map in 1893, 11 September, Chicago World Conference. I don't know if you all know. Do you all know when India was discovered? We were taught in the school, 1605, Columbus discovered India. You know? And you know what happened? Nobody knew about India other than a little bit of discovery. 1833, Vivekananda took India to the world map and Vedanta to the Western world. There is a book by Philip Goldberg called American Veda. Please read it. He's writing about Vivekananda. That he brought that Indian Vedanta to the world. And he's called in America the Yoga Guru. You know, there is somebody called J.D. Challenger. He's one of the American great writer. And he says, and philosopher, he says, the American youth, boys and girls, would do good to carry that little book in their pocket. Can you imagine? And you and I know so little about Vedanta. Oprah Winfrey is saying on a Friday lecture that how can you start a day without meditation? Oprah Winfrey. You know, she's one of the richest ladies in the world today. And you and I know most of Indians today are taking a great revolution for a good body, good health, good mind, good meditation. I know most of us are doing it. But are we doing it with that feverish thing of discovering which is this giant within me? And continuing with that, what is education then? Would anybody like to share? What's education? Try. I would like it to be interactive. It might eat up a little time. It's okay. Good in interaction. Anybody want to say? Yes, sir.
The ability of mind.
Give the mic, please, so that everybody can hear.
Training the mind to think.
Mind to think.
Training the mind to
Very nice. I'm not asking anybody else. I will just deal with it because most of us have a similar kind of a thing, right? To gain knowledge, wait. Gain knowledge, skill, development, character, all that stuff. You know, who's going to teach? Mind to think. Who's going to teach?
Self, parents.
Sorry? Self
Or the parents.
or the parent
Or the teachers.
and the teachers and the professors and all that. Perfect. This is what all of us think. I used to think so too. You know what? Vedanta doesn't agree with you. And it is given there. You can get that that small book on Vedanta education. Vivekananda says first line. What is education? He said, education is the manifestation of the perfection already in your child. Where is it? What is education? Bringing it out from within, not teaching. You know what? This is what we are doing today. Ken Rogers, have you ever heard of him? He is the Minister of Education in England. He's a Lord Ken Rogers. He's there in YouTube and TED Talk and all that. You know what he said? He said, we are all mining, you know, like you do gold mining, diamond mining. We are all mining the mind of our, you know, this is the book. The first line in this book says so. that discovering that perfection, manifesting it into reality of life is education. It's nothing to do with the teaching and learning. Think for a second, Shakespeare must have gone to school, no? There must have been some English teacher for him. Did somebody tell Shakespeare, don't speak like that? We say no. Be proper, stand properly, dress up properly. Just think somebody must have done it. No? And think for a second. Jesus Christ. Did he ever go to school? No. Let's say Paramahansa Ramakrishna. Did he go to school? No. And yet they're the world topper. So there is nothing called my child is like that. Like what? Like not so very good. It is not so. That every child matters written on the green part, it is not a joke. It's serious. I want you to reinforce it and give it to everyone. What is Vivekananda saying? He said, he lived for 39 years and he brought Vedanta to the world. I didn't know anything about Vedanta. I'm a fighter pilot. What do I know about Vedanta? But we are barring a little bit of Panchatantra, story, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita. By the way, Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta is Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutra and Upanishad. These are all three put together. Vivekananda says, my life of 39 years can be summarized in 2 sentences. And that's what we are doing the workshop for. What is it? First sentence, manifest that divinity from within for everyone. He said that's what is his purpose of life. Tell everybody. Manifest it into reality of life. And second, in every walk of life, implement it. That's it. What? That divinity which is you and me. You would love to have a good character, husband, wife, colleague, even servant, maidservant, no? Who doesn't steal and things like that? Who is teaching us? No one. And maximum we were told, फिर से झूठ बोला एक थप्पड़ पड़ेगा. That's how we were told about the being truthful. I'm saying now, your child is truthful, born truthful. You and I, we make them not truthful as they grow up. And the school system, and the college, and the society, and this, all those chatting and things like that which is going on. So what should we do? Take up understanding. Ask any question, any amount of time, free walk-in to principal's office, my office at any time, and do keep attending. There was one of the, I thank you very much for, we had sent you a Google link and said, please shoot your question. We will deal with each one of those questions in the next session because I saw them just before starting. One of the questions has come up, one of the mother is asking, or father, I didn't check the detail, that how do I support my child after school at home so that he doesn't lag behind because the IB is a different kind of education, etc. Right? My request is, please don't. What don't what? No. What I'm trying to say, indirectly it is not correct statement, okay? I'm only telling you. What I'm trying to say, please don't. If you try to teach the way you and I have learned yesterday, you're going to rob them of their tomorrow. IB is not the way you and I have. It took me 2 years to just begin to understand what is IB because it was so deeply ingrained. Who says that I couldn't have been a world number? People around me. You. Yes, yes. Even if you haven't been, think about it. It's a great idea. You don't have to push them. So, what is the purpose of education? Is it just acquiring degrees or giving them a skill so that, which you and I were told, study, 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 get good marks. Why? So they will get a good admission. Where? In the college. Why? Doctor, engineer, professor, teacher, IT, businessman, whatever. Why? You get a good job. Why? So that you will get good money. Why? Good life. And then good partner. And then one house in Switzerland, one in India, and doing great. Is it education? It is not. Education is to build that character. And that character, if you build, everybody wants a good character. You know what will happen? When mothers, there is a guy who goes down to the village elders and says, "Sir, I want lots of money." The elders smile and he said, "Sure, everybody does." Why? I want to create a center where I want to train all children and good education. So he said, "Okay, good idea, but I don't know how to get good, lots of money." You go down to that, the mountain top, there is a monk sitting there, he's got lots of power. You go and ask him. See, he goes, walks up to the mountain top, the monk was meditating, so he goes politely, sits, 1 hour, 2 hours, and afterward monk opens his eyes and smiles. He knew everything, so he was a great monk. He just smiled and said, "Yes, but why have you come?" He said, "Sir, I want lots of money." He said, "Why?" He said, "This is why I want it." He said, "Okay, you can get it." "Really?" "Yes." "What do you have to do?" He said, "Don't worship Mother Lakshmi." And this is what you and I have been told, no? Worship Mother Lakshmi. Work hard to earn more money. So what should I do? Worship Mother Saraswati. What will happen? It's a story, Vedantic tale. It's in Vedanta. What will happen if you worship Mother Saraswati? Mother Lakshmi is going to get jealous. And she will say, "Why is this guy falling in love with that lady? I'll give him lots of money." That's her power, no? So she'll give lots of money. He said, most important, don't fall in love with Lakshmi now. Keep falling in love with Mother Saraswati. And Lakshmi will get even more jealous and she'll give you even more money. Don't look at her. You continue Mother Saraswati. What's the meaning of this in Vedanta? Knowledge will bring you everything. And that knowledge is not academic or book script. It's the knowledge of who you are. That wisdom from within. And once you start to do it, you will see it will walk in like that. It will happen. Who are the people who are earning the most in the world today? And if you look at carefully, they all have a great some talent. And this talent was there within them. I'm taking you across. This is education is the manifestation of the perfection already in every child. Manifested. Who is this me? So discovering that I is not the body, not the mind. It's that I with you, everyone. Supposing you were seeing a family photograph, okay? And let's say your friend, your husband, your wife is with you, and you say, "You can see that baby? That was me." And naturally the husband and wife say, "That was you? Really?" And you have a little joy, laughter, funny thing, and little later teenager, little later toddler and teenager and growing up and adult, and say, "That was me, that was me, that was me." Who's that me? Me. That is I. That I was there when you were a baby. That I is there today. That I will be there when you are 80 or 105 years of age. By the way, as per Bill Gates and Melinda Gates Foundation research, it's there in the YouTube. Most people in the current time are going to cross 100 years of age. Why? Because of tremendous facility available all over. Medical facilities and etc. etc. This is what their research report. It called Shift is Happening. It got another beautiful message, little off track, but I'll share with it. Very interesting. You know what Bill and Melinda is saying? He says, 33-year-old men and women of India is going to rule the world economy. You can already see it's happening. Isn't it? Narendra Modi is doing a great thing. And 2023, he says 2024 to 2028, Indians are going to spear ahead. And 2028 onwards, they will go beyond China, beyond American finance. By 2032-33, I hear it from many of you financiers who are great people. They're all saying it is about that time they're expecting. Go to Wikipedia, saying the same thing. So, great time ahead for yours and my kid. Have you ever thought of it? Have you ever thought of it? Children who are joining today, okay? Have you ever thought they are going to retire 2083? 60 years of age, let's say retiring age. What will the world be that time? Have you ever reflected? You try to equate the world the way you and I are today. I have a beautiful book here. India in 2047. And reading this book right now. What are the predictions? What is 2047? 2047 is 1947 we got independent. 2047 is 100 years. 100 years, what has India done? And I'm passionate about education, passionate about this. You know what? So are each one of you. Almost everybody is passionate about education. Otherwise we won't be meeting. Even those who are not here, they are. Only thing, they don't know. It's not their fault. Our country is not telling. Our parents loved us very much. They didn't know. They didn't know what? Let's say, by 6 years of age, if you're not giving data continuously from mother's womb onwards, you know how much? You'll be amazed to hear. 360 million, 36 crore, 3.6 billion data per day, including the baby in the mother's womb. You're losing every day brain neurons. And you and I grew up with what? Good loose screws for mother, good food for mother, and the baby is growing. Food, food, food. Today, if you do a little research on the YouTube, you know what they're saying? And who's saying? Stein Egbert. He's supposed to be a gold medalist Olympic for America. And he's a doctor also. And he's saying, and so is another Indian, Dr. Pradeep Jamnadas. If you Google him, you know what they say? You'll be shocked. And many doctors are talking the same thing. What? Eating is dangerous. He said every one of us who have fallen sick today is because we eat too much. 3 meals a day and little snack in between. Why? We need energy. So energy bar and etc. etc. We'll deviate from the topic. But this information was not known to us. We didn't know about it. So our intention is to spread this word without pushing anybody. Don't try to brainwash anybody. Just leave a message. Somebody wants to know something, okay, tell them a little more. And if they want to know more, go ahead and take them across. Am I just a boy or a girl? Am I just a human child? Have you realized in our years in my school days, we used to be called Bandar, monkey, chooha, what all things we were called? I was called many things. I used to be made to stand up on the bench because I did something, okay? And my teacher used to come. I not forgotten. You have not forgotten the teachers who appreciated you or condemned you. So don't condemn them. You know what he would do? He was a very good teacher. And he liked me a lot. And possibly liked me a lot, so he used to finger me also a lot. He would make me stand. And then he will come in front of me. Imagine I'm standing on top there, and he'll come and say, "Wow, how tall you are!" And all the children will laugh and they will clap. And I used to feel so bad. And I used to say, in my mind, "I'll show you one day." I'll show you one day. I've not forgotten it. You know, in 10th standard exam, I wasn't studying. I told you. I was very intelligent, like all of us. All of us were very good kids. We were intelligent, we did reasonably well. Some of us were sincere to study. Some of us did it sporadically and did reasonably well. I never stood more than third, so parents were pretty happy. Very good in sports. So, pretty okay. I wasn't studying. How? 24 days to go for my 10th standard final exam. Not studying. And everybody else in the family, they were doing brilliantly well, all first divisions and things like that. Mother is worried like hell. The mother didn't know what to do with me. And she noticed that beating doesn't help. You know those ancient days, the door used to have a stopper. You must have seen a wooden topper. In the village, it's still there. She used to take it out and beat me with that. I used to refuse to show that I'm scared. I used to stand like that. And she used to start crying. What to do with you? 26 days to go, 26 days exact. My mother got so fed up, she called my elder brother from college. She said, "You take this monkey and go to that astrologer." That astrologer was very far away. go and find out what's going to happen to this guy. So he took my horoscope and went to that guy, and he was a blind guy. I have not forgotten. He was sitting on the floor, and his daughter, who was about 18, 20 years of age, she was reading it out. He listened to it, blind guy, totally blind, but supposed to be very good astrologer. He listened to it, and we both were sitting on the adjacent side. I was sitting on a chair like this. Brother was sitting on the floor. Very egotistic guy, you know. I used to have a lot of ego. Why should I sit on the floor? I must be about 15 or 14 and a half. He said like this. So my elder brother leaned forward. I've not forgotten this scene. Said, "Sir, what is it?" He said, "He's going to fail." You know what I did? I got up and I came outside. My elder brother came running. "What are you doing? You're insulting him." I said, "What insulting?" You won't believe, he's 6 years elder to me. And those days, you know, the brother, elder brother, 1 year old also is to be respected. I said, "What is disrespecting? I feel like slapping him." This is what I said. He said, "What? Wait till I tell mommy and daddy." I looked at him. I was fuming, man. How dare he says I'm going to fail? Ego, no? I told my elder brother, "I'll show you." You know what I did? Like a monkey, I came down home, and I told you we were right in front of the river Ganges. There was a huge table where we used to play table tennis. It was a table tennis table, and we used to sit down and have dinner also sometime there. Beautiful river in front. I sat down there. I didn't get up for next 24 days. I was sleeping there, excepting for the toilet and washing up face. Poor mother. At night, I didn't sleep. And I kept reading and reading and reading. You know what the result came? Exams are over. Naturally, everybody threw their books. This is what needs to do. No, exam is over. Pack it up or throw it away. And I remember Ranil sir. He had stacks of cards. We were 73 or 75 kids in the classroom. He called out, first card I remember, Devabrato Datta, first division. First division those days is unthinkable. 60% and above. Unthinkable. British time. And everybody clapped, and he was a short, roly-poly guy, and he went on to become the headmaster of the same school. Okay? Today, poor guy suffering from a lot of knees and can't climb down the staircase, can't come down. He's locked up in the room. Poor guy. I keep meeting him. Now, rest of nobody got first division. Everybody, second division, third division. He kept calling out the result, and everybody was clapping, and 38 of them had failed. He didn't call me. And at the end of it, I got up, everybody's finished. I went up to him and I said, "Sir, what about my result?" He looked at me like that. And then he had kept mine hidden inside his pocket. He takes it out from his pocket. He was looking at it and he looked at me and said, "How did you do it?" I snatched it from his hand and saw it, first division. 62.7. I did it, and I must have ran that 4-5 kilometers to my home. I'm saying, why is it we all have passed through this kind of pain? Because we didn't know. So, can I just speak instead of just a monkey or a donkey or a boy or a girl? You know, I had the first world topper from this school 6 years back. And they were all sitting here, I was talking to them, I keep talking to them. And have sessions with the teachers every day and children once a fortnight or so. I was talking to them. They were in Mbati 3, 8th grade, going to 10th standard. I have not forgotten. I asked them, "So champion, do you all know how much is the maximum marks in Mbati 5? They said, "Yes." I said, "How much is it?" 56. I said, "Very good. So how much are you going to score?" So they will look at each other, were laughing, giggling. We were very free with children. I said, "What happened?" "So we're studying very hard." I said, "I know you're studying very hard, but how much are you going to score?" "Sir, we are working very hard. I said, okay, I know. How much should you score? Give me a number. So we are working. Don't want to tell. Supposing they say and it doesn't happen, you know that fear in you and me? I said, okay. I lost the link. What was I talking?
We were talking
Huh?
Our score they will
Right. You know, they came, highest was 48. Who? Ananya and Tanishka. And others, 46, 42, 40, 38, 23, all kind of numbers. We were 16 of them. I don't take more than 15, 16, keep that one time. So I didn't say anything. I said, okay. I said it very softly. Tell me, why is nobody saying 56? He says, 56? Come on, sir. It's a board exam. I said, so? Come on, sir. Board exam, 5,000 plus school. How can we? I said, tell me why. So they're big schools, big structure, infrastructure, great teachers, Switzerland, France, England, America, Germany. So we are a small school, small teacher. I said, okay. What do you think would make you score 56? I said, not possible, sir. I said, all right. Do you know when IB is coupled with Vedanta, Vedanta is telling you what? I just told a little touch about that you can do it. And they were all smiling, looking at each other, pushing a little bit. And how can it be, that kind of thing? I said, okay, tell me something. I remember Tanishka was extreme right next to Ananya, then Piyush, then Gianna. This is how they were sitting there. There were four of them. I said, Tanishka, you're a girl, right? She said, yes, sir. I said, how do you know that? This is why I talked about boy or girl. She said, I know. I said, I know you know, but how? Come on, sir, I know. I said, I know you know, but how? Tanishka, very smart. She said, because mom told me, dad told me, my body features. I said, okay, very good. The moment I looked at Ananya, she said, sir, I'm a girl, I have no doubt. I said, okay. Next I went to Piyush. I said, Piyush, you're a boy, right? Yes, sir. How do you know that? I know it, sir. I said, how do you know? I know, sir. I said, you monkey, I know you know, but how? Come on, sir, I know. I said, sure, no doubt, no doubt. I said, you monkey, you know you're a boy or a girl. You know you're a human child. You know you're not a donkey or a monkey. How come you don't know that you're 56 or a 56? He said, is it possible? I said, of course, the fact I'm talking about it is possible, and some of you will do it. He said, but sir, how? What's the trick? I said, there is a trick. I'll teach you. You will teach us? I said, guaranteed. We have to work very hard, sir. I said, what if you don't have to work hard? How many of you have takers? Everybody's hand went up. I said, now what happened? Sir, without working hard, no? I said, yes, without working hard. Do you work hard to be a girl? I asked her. She said, no. Do you have work to be a human child? No. Do you have work hard to be a boy? He said, no. I said, why do you have to work hard to be a perfect 56? You are. Only thing you forgot. So what do you do now? I showed them. Now that folder is not here. I have a folder to talk to them. In that there is a big chart of 56 written. I said, just put it all over your house, starting with on top of your pillow. When you go to sleep, see it and go to sleep. When you wake up, right in front of your foot, there should be a 56. You should see it on the wall. Take mom's permission, okay? Otherwise she is going to kill me. And put it in your mobile, home screen, 56. Computer home screen, 56. Don't forget to put in front of your toilet seat, 56. They were laughing. I said, I'm serious. That's the place where you're going to think. Now, put it in front of your dining table where you sit and have meal together with parents. in your study corner, in your worship corner, where you meditate, we ask them to meditate in front of your meditation corner, just put that number. When you're going out to the house, that door inside, put it 56. When you come back, put it 56 inside. House number 56. People will say, what is this 56? I say, don't share it with anyone. Keep it to yourself. Secret. Only mom and dad can know. Share it only with someone who is professionally capable in the school, or maybe one or two colleagues who are equally believer in this concept. That will reinforce your belief. And just do it. So, Tanishka got the world topper, Ananya got 55, missed it by one number. And there were many, I think 4 of them missed it by one number. And about 10 of them missed it by 2 numbers. That crowd I'm talking about. So, Tanishka came to thank me with Dr. Aditi Shah, and is she here? No. And her husband and Tanishka. I had called the journalist. They called me up, can we come and meet you? I said, sure. I called the journalist. I said, come. I would like you to meet. So she was also there. I asked her. Tanishka says, well, we come to thank you. We are grateful. I said, how does it feel? She said, great. And especially, sir, you know what happened? When I went back, I told mom, sir is saying I can be a world topper. And he told this to all 16 of us. How can it be? How is it possible? Just imagine. We are in Pune city, little school, and this is world exam. 5,600 schools in the world. Mommy said, this is where you and I come to play, the teacher, the father, the mother. Mommy said, listen, I know Sir for more than 15 years. She had grown up from, I think, 1 year, 2 months or something, she got her admission. And I know what Sir said will never go wrong. And you know what? It will happen to you too. The Vedanta says, and Vivekananda reinforces it, 12 years, if you do not tell a lie, it will happen to you too. Whatever you speak, it will come true. And it is given in the Vedanta. Cosmic energy, unified field, if you don't believe in God, or God will make it happen. Now, she said, I know, what Sir says will not go wrong. You just work, don't worry about you, whatever result you get, it's okay. You know what the product? Her sister is studying now, she is in, I think, MRP 4. Now, she had also got 55, Tanishka also got 55. But Tanishka had the courage to challenge IB. We also got it. I said, go ahead and challenge it because we think you are 56. We have something called predictive, and our predictions never go wrong. You know, we don't predict over, expecting IB will also help our children a little bit. We do it exact as we think. So she challenged and IB came back and said, yes, you're right, you are 56. So Tanishka went charging down and telling, I think her name is Bhavya, went and told Bhavya, Mukura. Mother and father knew, do you know, I become world topper, I got 56 out of 56. You know what Bhavya said? And she just came back 2 days back from Germany, and I was asking how's Tanishka doing. She's doing great in US. She's been declared top 6 student in the United States. Can you believe? Who are these? These are your and my kid. Bhavya told Tanishka, you did it in second time, I will do it in first time. Imagine that fire. It may not work, it may work. Doesn't matter. What happened to, how did I get into this? One message my father left one day. I told you at the end of that 4:30 training, 7-ish, 7:15, we should do a 100-meter dash. My elder brother was 6 years older to me, and they're all great athletes. And I remember, I used to want to be first. Actually, how can I be? They are much faster, much better. And I could say, elder brother, second brother, third brother, me. And my younger brother behind me, okay? And we are chasing. What is the goal? Go and touch father. 100 yards behind, whoever can touch father is the first. Now father, before we go to start, he used to say, you are going for a 100-meter dash. That everybody used to say, Yes, Baba. And father used to say, pointing at me. Why? Because I was more or less the youngest there. He said, he's going to win anyway. Why did he say that? Just to encourage me. He knew the other son will win. And what the other brothers would do, for a practice, they will race like anything, they were ahead of me. But just before coming to father, they will slow down to respect father's word. And I used to go and touch him and I said, I did it, I did it. And I used to jump. I grew up believing I can do it. Now, you know what, 6 days a week used to be the training. Sunday, my father used to call the top players, top musicians, top actors, actresses. You know, Samita Chatterjee, Satyajit Ray, you all heard, Gavaskar, Sunil Gavaskar, they used to all come to our home. They would all, that time around, whenever they would come, P.K. Banerjee, India team captain, soccer, table tennis player, and he would call them on Sunday. And Chandanagar, French town, it was a great attraction for people there. It was a very beautiful town. And mother would cook for everyone. And mother's food was the kind of attraction for them. And of course, have great fun. And I remember one day, he had given me a rifle, air rifle. I was very fond of shooting, and so was my father. I was more keen than everybody else. So he gave me that rifle in my birthday. And I used to think, who am I going to shoot? The father used to teach me how to put a target in the tree. So this particular day, all those are athletic type of people. So father shot a few. There were some crows across the street on the tree. And everybody tried, 10, 12, 15 of them, 5, 6 shots each. Nobody could shoot one. So father, as they were going inside to play various games, bridge and carom board and card and things like that, he gave me the rifle. And just before going, he just smiled at me and left it with me. He didn't say anything. Now they all went inside. What did I do? I took that rifle. There was a crow sitting there. I kept shooting, kept shooting, kept shooting. I must have shot 25, 30, 40, I don't know. You know what? One shot caught that crow in the head. And the crow just dropped dead. I have not forgotten. I charged across the street. Don't imagine a busy street. Those days there were hardly anybody around. I went, picked up the crow, bleeding, and tagging it like this. And I have done it, I've done it. And mommy screaming, what are you doing? It's blood is flowing all over. You know what? Actually proudly looking at everybody, I did it, I did it. My father looked at everybody and you know what he said? Didn't I tell you he will do it? He reinforced. I told you he will do it. I'm trying to say, forget about my son has this maths problem or English problem or dyslexic or hyperactive or whatever. Just forget about it. Discover, uncover the treasure from within. What if they don't become world toppers? So what? Nothing is going to get lost. Otherwise also they were going anyway. You and I are pretty okay. But we are all chasing to be a topper in the profession where we are. Few of us have accepted to be, it's okay to be who I am. I'm saying, stop expecting that. Why should I know who am I? Because that I is not this body and the name and the form, but I'm using that body and the name and the form as an application, like you use your mobile and the computer. They're very important. You have to take care of the body. You have to take care of the mind. And those intellects, mano, buddhi, chitta, ahankar, those things. And all the other. Let's say, have you noticed most of us today, we think education is what is more or less academic results, sports result, skill result, right? I am trying to ask you to think that schooling and education is the discovering the giant from within the child. There are so many kids in our school who have, on the 12th grade, very intelligent, from a very rich family, but didn't put in their effort, but did reasonably okay, middle class. Okay? You know, one of them, I got a message from Oak Ridge International Vice President, sent me a message. Sir, I would like to see what's he doing. And you know what? In Hopkins, he's got admission in Hopkins, and he's become students' leader in academic, in sports, and in oratory skill. Can you imagine? Hopkins is the world's top medical institution. In third grade, that medical, he is leading. And he's done that little bit of Instagram and all that, which the Vice President of Oak Ridge happened to see it. He sent it to me. Would you like to see what your boys are doing? I said, wow. And I used to call him so many times. I used to do chill out. People will come down if they've done something very bad. Kids have done lots of very bad things. You can't believe it. I never complain to you. You'll be amazed. One boy was doing brilliantly well. Very good student. Mommy said, sir, he is not disciplined. I want him to be disciplined. I said, listen, don't bring rigidity in his life. Bring freedom, fun, flexibility, breathing. We'll cover them. And if you try to bring rigid, he'll be like a stick. He'll break very easy. But if he's like a bamboo who's flexible, you know, tsunami, when it came in south, next to the temple got uprooted. But you all must have seen it. There was a huge bamboo crush. This was a journalistic article. That's how I came to know. The bamboo bush, the whole bush went down. The tsunami went past, and again it stood up. It stands. It doesn't let the struggles and the strife of suffering of the world to put them down. Now, this is what we are trying to teach the children, to show it to them, not teach them really, being an example. You and I have to become an example. Lead by the front. In political leadership, most of the people, barring a very few great leaders, we got India filled with a lot of great leaders, they say, some say, who are not very great, aage badho, go in front. But the great leader, great general will say, mere piche piche aao. I am the one to first take the first bullet. You and I have to be like that and take them on. Once you discover, you will suddenly find, I find it today, without doubt, a word which you'll find it very funny, and most of you may not even believe it. Invincibility. You cannot fall sick. You will not be landing up with what most people are landing up with. You know, I had terrible injury on my knee from fighter pilot ejections. I was told ejection is a tremendous force with which you are thrown out of the cockpit from a fighter plane. I was told, as you grow old, you are going to have spondylitic problem, disorientation, brainwashed, okay? You will have it. Have you noticed you will not do that? My father used to use specs, mother used to use specs, so I should also use specs. Why? Genetical. Hey, in my case, my father and mother both use specs. I don't use specs. So it is all in your thinking. You know what? I don't eat more than 2 times a day. Morning breakfast, 7:45, 8 o'clock. And we charge up 7:45, we come. 7:30 we sit down to eat breakfast. And lunch between 1:30 and 2. After that I don't eat anything. Till next day breakfast. First time when I started, if you will follow the 2 names I gave it to you, Dr. Stein, and those of you interested, you tell me, I will send it to you also. And Dr. Ranjan, Pradeep Jamnadas. They say most of the world's top athletes are doing that. Top people are doing that. He said, you know, Sadhguru, you've seen him, he's quite famous. Sadhguru is saying, I've been telling you guys to eat only 1 time a day. I eat 1 time a day. I don't have any sickness and disease. He said, now that the American doctors are saying everybody wants to do it 1 time a day. Come on. So, this you suddenly find, my knee problem what I had, many of you may have seen, earlier days when I used to go down the staircase, I used to hold Sharada's hand and walk down one step at a time. Many of you may have seen it. I don't now. I literally run down the staircase. What happened to my knee? I am surprised. I am shocked myself. In the morning when I am doing my preparation, I wake up very early in the morning and I notice every time I remember, wow, I don't have my knee problem anymore. How did it cure? Once you follow it, you will see. It's not very difficult. So now, what is this? Who am I? We are not the body, name, mind and form and function and the name. We are something else, with which you are seeing me and hearing me. So now notice in this slide, can you see on the right hand side, these are the objects of the world. The whole world, universe comes to me how? I see it, I hear it, I touch, taste, smell. 5 senses, the whole world gets to me and it comes through, let's say, the optical nerve. I see a big tree. That big tree in the picture, which I use it for the children. Tree doesn't enter my eye. I see a rose. Rose doesn't enter my eye. Light falls on it, creates an image onto the cornea, which in turn to the optical nerve sends tiny, tiny electrical particle into the brain. Now, brain sends tiny, tiny particles of electricity into the mind. Now, up to here, the Western science knows how. After they don't know how till today. And one of the book is here. Yeah. David Chalmers. He is the head of the NYU, New York University Mind Brain Consciousness Unit. He's saying reality. What is reality? Augmented reality, virtual reality, plus. What is plus? Plus is which is real, which you and I don't know, is that. What is that? This C. Can you see the C? C is the consciousness. Did you know that your brain, your mind, has no power? I didn't know it. Advaita Vedanta tells us it has no power. Look at it, practical example. If I'm in coma, can I see the world? I'm unconscious. Can I experience the world? I've been injected for operation, I'm lying in OT. Do I know what is happening around? No. Why? Because your consciousness has been subdued, detached from your muscle and brain and etc. That's why you don't feel pain, right? Now, that tiny, tiny electrical particle is now goes to the mind. Mind, how does it know it's a tree? This is what is the science today. Western science is saying, promissory note, give me 30 more years, we will tell you. They will never find it. You know why? Because they try to find consciousness as an object. Consciousness is not object. What is it? It is a subject. Those of you remember English, subject and object in your definition? Subject, in very crude example, subject is the seer, is the witness. Who's witnessing? I am witnessing all of you. I am the drashta. And what I am seeing is drishya, Vedantic language, is the sight, the object. What is an object? Definition of object is which objects consciousness. This is, by the way, Harvard definition. Okay? Arindam Chakraborty is a great philosopher Indian. He is teaching there. He said object is an object which object the consciousness. In other words, what? If I keep it here and the light falls on it, it reflects and it tells you who the hell are we. Now, that consciousness is what? As per Vedanta, how do the kids do it? Top up. They suddenly realize, wow, I do have something with which I didn't know about it. I'm using it unconsciously. Very famous story, Vedantic story. Washerman was using a stone, many of you may have heard in my audio workshop, using a stone to clean the clothes, the dhobi. Go to the river bank, wash it, scrub it, and then dry it and come back and give it. One day he said, this stone is very nice and attractive to me. Let me go and find out what is this stone like. So while otherwise he was leaving it behind. Those days, dhobi got nobody touches. He goes to his vegetable friend and he said, hey, I got this stone. What do you think of it? He said, I like it very much. I'll give you 10 kgs of brinjal. Those days, Vedant think 10 kg brinjal was a rich man's food. Somehow he didn't sell it. And the story goes, he went to the utensil shop, clothes shop, gold shop, eventually gold shop guy said, listen, it looks very, you go and talk to your diamond merchant. Diamond merchant said, my God, you got the costliest diamond. And now what happened? He got crores of rupees, all the washerman suffering vanished. If you can tap into that consciousness, which I'm showing you figuratively, if our children can just do what? How do you tap it? How do you tap? You're a girl, you're a boy. Not physical feature. Physical feature is guiding factor. Something else. You just know it. Not understanding. Understanding is intellectual property. Okay? Knowing is not intellectual. You're aware. Another name for consciousness is awareness. Once you're aware, my son, my daughter can do it. Whatever ability, disability they have right now, you can. You know what Jija Mata used to tell Shivaji the same thing. I don't know if you all know. Jija Mata fought his wife because of Shivaji. And what did they do? He used to be told, you'll become a world leader. Shivaji used to say, mother, how? I'm so small, 4 feet 10 inches tall. Okay, he was good, athletic, muscular and very intelligent. But he used to say, I should be 6 feet tall, big, giant, then I'll be a world leader, no? She said, who said you're small? Mind the language. I did all this research to find out, I'm sharing with you. She called that white horse. Senapati brought it. She asked him, climb up. Very good in athletic. So he jumped up, he was 15 years of age. Mother said, now can you see how tall you are? Who said you are small? This is the message you and I have to keep on giving to our kids. This consciousness is the essence of everything in the universe. You keep hearing it, no? Those of you believe in God or you don't believe in God, that God is everywhere. Okay? Now, those who don't believe in God, I'm very simple. And this is Vivekananda's word. He said, okay, you don't believe in God. You know what is an atheist? Atheist, as per English, is those who don't believe in God. He said, he is the one who is atheist who does not believe in himself. I asked her, kid, whether you believe in God or not, do you believe in yourself? Do you know you exist? Then you can do it. All you have to know, I exist and I'm going to take it up. So, these are generally, we keep worrying. Now, worrying is the worst poison that you can do for your own self. Forget about acidity. Worst thing you can do. Whereas, on the other hand, worrying is what? Worrying is meditation on the negative aspect of life. You know, in one of my accident, I was grounded. I lost my left leg to such an extent, my leg was lying quite far away. And when the people picked me up, they were not picking up the leg. I said, hey, pick up the leg also. I was conscious, terrible pain. They looked at me and now to please me, they picked up my leg. I remember I was wearing a high heel shoe, you know, right up to the knee. Those days, young, 18, 19, 20-year-old guy. I don't know what was my age, somewhere around there. I can calculate. They picked me up, took me to the hospital. Doctor came and said, sign it. I said, what is it? You have to sign that I'm going to chop off your leg. I said, I'm not going to sign that. I have to become a fighter pilot. He said, listen, you forget about fighter flying. I said, why? This leg cannot be saved. More than 2 hours it was lying outside. It's infected. I said, sir, I'm not going to sign. Then you sign this paper, which says, I might die trying to save that leg. You might get, you know, that infections, gangrene may form. I said, then I'm ready to sign. Other doctor was saying, you be careful. You might really land up dead. I said, it's okay, sir. It's better to be dead than not have my leg. I don't know. Somehow I had that spirit. I signed it. You know, when I came, after 48 hours, I came to my senses. Actual sense. Must have come into senses before that. But I remember, I started screaming. Why? It was my left leg. I was trying to move my left leg toe. I couldn't move it. And left leg toe was there. There was a big plaster. I started screaming. I said, and doctors kept running. Said, what happened? What happened? I said, you are a cheater. You told me you were going to save my leg, and my leg is not dead. So he smiled and he said, no, no, no. Your leg is dead. See, I'm touching your toe. I said, but I have got no feeling. He said, don't worry, it will come after 5-6 days. Just watch. You know, I took 2 years, 10 months to turn my back. It was so bad. I was lying always like this. And during that time, I did a lot of reading, a lot of understanding, a lot of new things. And I came on, everybody said, now maximum you will fly helicopter. I was reading Douglas Bader. If you all read Douglas Bader in First World War, he was a fighter pilot, missed here and Spitfires. And Douglas Bader had both legs wooden. I said, if he can fly, I can also fly. Even if I get wooden leg or an injured leg. You know what? Luckily I had normal leg and I continued. I became a fighter pilot, and after that I commanded the big squadrons and Jaguars and things like that, became a test pilot, everything. What? I just believed I could do it. I don't know, maybe like a monkey, whatever it is, but it paid up my life. So that's 100% success in just knowing. After that, most of us think, what if you don't? So what if you don't? I'm going to die. No, it's okay. Next time we will do it. Simple. So, believe. You know, one apple, if you cut, you can count how many seeds are there, right? Many of you must have heard me saying this word before. Can you tell me how many apples are there in one seed? That one seed is your champion. And tremendous potential. This is to be me. Can you believe? That was when I was commanding the mixed squadron. So, every child is unique. Cultivating that uniqueness, nurturing this, is the main purpose of the education. Manifestation of the perfection, which is our life. It is, our school is doing it. Who are these kids? Hey, this school was earlier also, no? 27 years now. Earlier also we didn't. All we have done is a little shift of the paradigm. And we told them, if you want to do well, you have to be truthful. Don't tell lies, even in a joke. And just watch how it will manifest. When Tanishka was asked by the Times of India journalist, is there with me, how did you become? I have been 16 years with Times of India. I've never met a world upper till today. What did you do, Tanishka? What's your success? Secret? She didn't bat an eyelid. She immediately said, my secret is I don't tell lies. And I believe in my inner power. Now this is what we have been doing, talking all the time. My request is each one of you, spread the word and you talk to your child always and just watch. So the world our kids are going to live in is changing 4 times faster than the local school. Schools are not changing. Now 2083 is the time as a new child who's coming in, newborn, is going to be retired. What will the world be like? ChatGPT is already playing beautiful. Our kids are using ChatGPT intensely. And mind you, academic honesty is the most important part of our school. But they're using ChatGPT, but in such a manner, it is not their originality is lost. But they're taking help, like you have taken help from an apps. Okay? We need to go beyond. What? Mess. Maths, English, science and social studies. It's a mess. And this is called literacy. This is what you and I think. How much mark did you get? How does it matter? And this is why you notice in IB, we do not have that curriculum. So those of you bothered about how do I keep up with them, hey, our school is sending you manage back. Go to the manage back, you know everything which is happening, has happened, is going to happen. Attend Friday, meet our teachers, homeroom teacher, talk to them. Every Friday you're welcome. Maybe there are too many, so stagger and you're also busy. Stagger, you're coming and talking to them. Walk in anytime, principal, me, we all are there. However busy I am, if you show your face, I always say, come and sit down on the sofa. Within few minutes, I will pay attention to you. I will just do it with that and whatever I'm doing. And because you are important, because of your champion is here, and you are here because you got a vision. Otherwise you won't come here. Whereas you have come here just because neighbor said so. Most of us have come here because we got a vision. What you and I could never be, your champion can be. And it doesn't matter what they're doing right now. Maybe not okay. That's why the worry comes. And if they're okay, don't be complacent. Okay is as per you, it is okay. It may not be okay as per the world standard. So today we got 18 of the world examiners in this school. We don't boast, we don't talk about it. Can you believe? 18 world evaluators, out of which I think 3 of them. World evaluators. Other cool colleges are calling them to train them and teach them how to become top. And this is the world which is going in. There's a 6F. There's a 6F. How do we fly? To fly. Since, you know what happened? That because I became a world topper in the flying, I said, how can I make these children fly? Fly is what? Free, have fun, and yet be a topper. So what is the first step? Fun. Second, freedom. Third, flexibility. Fourth, fearlessness. Don't make them scary boo. Fighting spirit. And 6th one is here somewhere. Where is it? Yeah. Daniel Coleman. Focus. How to focus and concentrate. Take them on. Going ahead. Fun. It's just another word for learning. If you have fun in cooking, aren't you a great cook? If you have fun in painting, aren't you a great painter? And you know what? I'm telling you, this is my discovery, and know it, I don't tell a lie. You know something today? Recently my elder brother's birthday, and immediately after that was his anniversary. 17 June was his birthday, 18 June was his anniversary. I got a message in my meditation, why don't you write a poem? Now first time when I wrote a poem, I said, me, poem? I don't know anything about poem. I like reading it, but I don't know how to write, like all of us. I got a message, where to start? I got a message in starting the school in US. I was having a great time. Great name, great fame, great money, and great party and great fun. I got a message, hey monkey, why don't you start a school? I said, me, school? In my meditation, I believe in whatever I come to know. Must be flying school. Because I'm good in flying. I got a message, no, elementary school. I said, come on, your head is getting such stupid message. How can it be elementary? I don't know nothing about elementary school. I'm a world trainer, but what? Flying and ground subjects for the academics and the flying, not elementary school learning. I got a message, very simple. You can always start. Same thing happened with Vedanta. You know what happened? I was talking to the kids, and Vivekananda is in this book, okay? I will come across it, is there, I put it up there. He says here, how do you prepare children with great character? He said, what we want are Western science. So IB, World Top Education Concept. Couple it with Vedanta. So we talked about what is Vedanta, and then next one he said, Brahmacharya. What is Brahmacharya? Purity. Abstain from falsities of life. Hold on to truth. That is Satyavema Jayate. And respect, Shraddha, faith in your own self. I said, Vedanta, me. Yeah. What is my picture? Those thick, big books, Sanskrit. I'm not that good in Sanskrit. I said, how am I going to learn? I was fond of Sanskrit. I used to score 100 out of 100 in Sanskrit. There was nothing, just writing. And writing was good, so I used to get 100 out of 100. I said, I don't understand Sanskrit. I got a message. I was talking to the children, and one of the girls, I still remember her name. Her sister is studying in the school. Her name is Vani. Vani was sitting in front. She is right now in UK and doing great. Vani said, sir, I want to know more about Vedanta. How do I know? Actually, I am talking. I had to say, don't worry, I'll share with you. And I went back and I said, you monkey, you better start learning Vedanta now. And just see, when I wanted to, I don't know from where all the data started coming. And it is so attractive and so nice. I am doing Vedanta session today every day and very serious 4 to 5 hours of Vedanta session. Who is this monkey? I'm as big a monkey as everybody else. So you can do anything. All you have to do is take it up. So always remember, you focus that determination is your reality. Freedom. Real freedom is merely doing what you like and not doing what others like. Break the shackle is fearlessness. Somehow, I'll give you examples of them. We used to play around. I was maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 years of age, and we used to go around the building, catch game, all of us have played, and all of us are chasing each other, and I'm the leader, and we were jumping across. The bungalow had the French window. You know, the lower part can be closed, it becomes a window. If you open it, it becomes a door, and below that there are staircases. So we were going around the building, so I was jumping across the 3 staircases. I forgot that the top window was open like that. So when I jumped, my head hit this corner and I said, oof, and I kept running. Young boy, and it was tickling, something was tickling, I did like this and I found blood. I just did this and I kept playing. You know, like all of us must have done it. Other boys, they got scared, they went running to mother. And my face must have been bloody or something. Something, and mother came running, what has happened? And then she said, oh, you didn't tell me it is him. This is my mother's word. You didn't tell me it is him. So I looked at her, I'm expecting to hear something. You know what she said? ये भगवान का लड़का है, कुछ नहीं होता. I had grown up believing I am भगवान का लड़का. Nothing happened to me. You know, 6 times I should have been dead in the Indian Air Force. I should have been amputed. I'm not. All today I want to do is what Vivekananda said. Spread this word of that divinity within to everyone. I'm not divine, or I'm as much divine as all of us are. So all of us have to walk towards that and take on the journey. Flexibility, not rigidity. The world is flexible. We bring with our mind rigidity. Do this and don't do that. Now, fighting spirit. And you know, this is Howard Gardner. Howard Gardner is the Harvard education professor. He's saying IB curriculum helps students think critically, synthesize knowledge, meaning, you know, like synthesize music systems, integrated learning. While playing basketball, they're learning mathematics. That's why we don't have curriculum, strictly speaking there is, but it is not a bookish curriculum. You have to do this. You know, I told, study chapter 1 to chapter 16 midterm. Chapter 17 to chapter 30 was final. And you forgot what was in 1st to 16 chapter. Think, do you remember? Charles' law, Boyle's law, Faraday's law, Ohm's law. We forgot. We read what is written in Ashok Stamba. When I talk to the new parent, do you remember what is written there? Most of them, 95-96% don't remember. Can't remember. And can you imagine? You know your national flag. How come you don't remember your national pillar? By the way, I also didn't know before, till I joined Air Force. We all grew up like that. I'm saying let's make a change now. Shift. And Howard Gardner is saying thought processes and get their feet wet in the interdisciplinary thinking. This is interdisciplinary learning. I'm not doing just art. While doing my visual art, I am practicing many other things, maybe English language, maybe German. How do you all do that? That is the part of the IB. So, all-round development of the child. So, theory of multiples of intelligence, saying Howard Gardner, and 11 forms of intelligence in the brain of a child, which is, let's say, academic, linguistic, musical, kinesthetic, which is sports, like that. I don't know if you all know, I'm a neuroscientist today. Who the hell is this guy? I didn't know anything. I started just studying. And I started thinking, wow, not bad, I can do it. So, getting on to the learner profile. You know about learning profile, that academic honesty is nothing else but satyameva jayate. Our children don't copy. It is not that they don't copy, they used to. And we showed them, hey, without copy you can do better. And you know something, we got Turnitin, it's a software, $6,000 we pay per annum. Every product of all teachers, all children has passed through that. And it tells you, 30% of this is you copied from so-and-so blog, or so-and-so write-up, or so-and-so book. It tells you. So we show it to the kids, this is your result. Come on, you can do it better. Forget about it. Just think about it and write it yourself. Now, so building character. Just watch. So basically we're trying to talk about that breadth and depth of the knowledge, flexible choice of the subject, real world is the connections. So effective time management skills, self-management skills. This is what happens when like our children are not the curriculum. How do they learn everything? Science project. You can't believe what a fantastic project. They take 1 year to write extended essay. Those of you who have children in the DP. Do you know what is it? 4,000 words of English essay. Can you think of it? You all of us have written in our school day, college day. Did you ever write 1,000, 1,500 words English essay and get 100 out of 100? Anybody? Teacher had to have a red pen and circle it, cross it, put a big anda. I still remember my left side one page had a big cross and a big anda. They didn't encourage us to, how to build from there. Taking you on creativity and originality are the hallmark of the IB education. This creativity and not literacy. Literacy with creativity is the essence of the body. Yes, you have to do the academic stuff with all the knowing and the skill development and etc. everything, coupled with that also. So creativity is being able to think above, beyond and around challenges in order to exceed these expectations and excite the senses. This is a very serious definition. I have a very simple definition. My definition you can read. Creativity is the original idea of a child with values to back up their life. Just let them be original, whatever it is. Omelette, Mama, can I make it? Let her make it, let her make it. Original idea, she'll do something. What stops you to say, very nice, very good. Next time when you make it a little less salty. Take it on. And these are the, the 5 R. You start, what help can I do in this home? First and foremost, reading. Read to the child, even a grown-up 16-year-old. It's difficult. You know why the children are drifting away from you? And neighbor's girl knows me better than you do, mommy, daddy, and going and banging the door and you don't understand me and go and lock yourself. Why? Why is the barrier? Why is the wall? Because you're not reading to the child and building a link. If you answer their questions today and they're growing up, they will come when they have bigger problem and come down. Ken Roger is saying, he said, I shifted from England. He's a lord in England. He should continue to stay there. He's a minister over there. He shifted to LA. Why? He said, I have an 18-year-old son and 16-year-old daughter. My 18-year-old comes and tells me, I'm not going to LA. So we asked why. I have met my girlfriend and I found the partner of my life, I'm not going to go. She is my girlfriend for life. The father, Ken Roger, is saying, I asked him, how long do you know her? He said, 30 days. The father said, thank you for telling me. He said, do you know what? I shifted to LA and made sure he comes with me. And you know why I did that? Because of that girl. I came to know at least that because of this reason. So, this reading, writing, arithmetic, 3R, and research skill and responsibility of own learning. They must want to do it by themselves. Whatever they like. So if you and I can develop what is our essence learning, based on which of the 6 F, the flying is the 7th M. What is the essence of learning? Learning to love to learn. I want to learn. And if you can encourage them to that, and all of you are doing it already, your kids are doing great. Our children are no longer the people as we were in the school. And if we teach them today as we were taught yesterday, we're going to rob them of their tomorrow. So stay in touch. This is check weekly updates mailed by the teachers. There is a question to what can I do to help my child to the homework and study. Meet with the teachers regularly. Use Spanish Pack to check the task given to your children. MRP. Check for homework tasks and support and exchange your child and with your ideas. And in the homework, make sure that they come up with the ending it by the day. But don't sit on their head. Do it. First finish. So how do you do it? Learn communication skill. In the next one, I did my specialization in communication. Suppose your child comes home. Mom, I'm home. Where are you? I can't see you. I'm in the TV room. TV is on. The mom comes and says, normally we'll say, what about your homework? Where's your homework? Robbin Ghosh told me homework first. So you say, what? Mom, I'll do it, don't worry. Now, you're a communication expert. I don't want to go into that dialogue. So what do you say? Sure. First, it's called SATMAC, S-A-T-M-C. S for smile, A for acknowledge, not agree, okay? T for turn the excuse, show more value, and close again separately. You close again is ask again, okay? Now, what is it? Smile, acknowledge. Sure, okay? Son, daughter is expecting. How can it be? The moment you do that, there'll be a wall in between you and the child. Child will go and do it and be like that. No. Hold up the collar and lift it up. So one says, sure, go ahead. And then, you're a communication expert. Child doesn't know that. So you say, would you like to watch this TV for 20 minutes or 30 minutes? Let him say 1 hour. He's going to say 1 hour, okay, Victorious Kidss. You say, okay. He will say, no, 1 hour is too much, 30 minutes is enough, something like that. You will say, okay. He will look at maybe his sister and look at you and say, what's gone wrong with mom today? Now, as you're leaving, you're saying, notice, I'm using W words. Which, where, what, when, how. How is also got a W at the end. But don't ask why. Because that's intimidating and puts off the children, okay? Which, where, what, when, how. So, you say, would you like me to remind you or would you come by yourself? He will say, I'll come by myself. You say, okay. Now, don't keep standing there. Don't go to the next room and keep on thinking, we'll still watching TV. Don't do that. You focus yourself onto some chore that you have to do. Do it intentionally, switch off from your mind. I give a guarantee that if you show your faith, she will not stay there, he will not stay there more than 5 minutes. Why? And this is what I meant. We trust your child. Do you? We tend to not trust them. Remember you and I, when we came back from a party, open your mouth, what did you drink? Our mom and dad asked us, who was the guy? What happened? Only, this is what? Lack of trust. How can it be? My child, how can it be wrong? And supposing you do find that something is not correct, slowly, gently, take specialist advice, come and talk, ignore, slowly take them across to what? Self-realization, self-understanding. And it will happen. So, nobody is a failure. You know who is this? This is Thomas Alva Edison. Where is that book? Here. Thomas Alva Edison. Do you know who is he? Yeah? Biggest inventor in the world till today. 365 inventions done. Do you know? I'm telling you a little anecdote of his life. He is writing this. I've given down what he is talking about here. He says, our greatest, he says what? Weakness lies in giving up. The most teachers' way to succeed, is always to keep trying. You know what? When he was about 7-8 years of age, he came back one day bringing a letter to mother, and they give it to mom. Principal has sent this letter. So she read the letter, didn't say anything. Now next year when boy was getting ready, she said, son, you're not going to the school. He said, why mom? I love to go to school. No. You know what teacher has written? Remember that letter? He has written that you are so good that the teacher can't cope up with your intelligence. So I'm going to teach you. And it's written down here, it's beautiful to read it. It goes ahead after that. Einstein, Churchill and Edison, it's written here. Einstein, Churchill and Edison had learning styles which were not suited to their school style and were the biggest cause of school failure, not knowing that. You understand? Most people become a school failure is what? Let's say not become a world topper. It's a school failure, meaning I couldn't become a perfect. So I'll say, you and I take up the journey. 80 years of age. He lived for a long time. Mother had passed away. And one day he was pottering around and he remembered mother's little box, wooden box. He opened it just to remember mother. He was very fond of his mom. And he was looking at various things of mother's. And he found that letter. And he opened that letter. You know what that letter said? Your child is hyperactive, dyslexic and adult. He cannot be treated by us. He's handicapped. Can you imagine? And that boy went on to become. I've given another. Can you see this girl? She is Gleania Lynn. She is right now in England. She is the top ballet dancer and she was very hyperactive. She is saying, in my life, I was declared an ADHD and I had dyslexic. In school, I was a big failure. But my mom and dad kept on trying to find which is my line. I was a great dancer. Today, if children are dancing or children are doing art, do you know something? After MRP 5, for DP, visual art, very few are takers because they think art, not a great idea. Let them become business management, MBA in business. No, whatever the child is showing interest, discuss with the specialists in the school. You have great people. I've given you these two. You see the ballet dancer, can you see that thing? She's supposed to be the Gillian Lynn. I've given you this example. You know this statement? If all the insects were to die, supposing, imagine, all insects vanished from the earth, do you know? This statement is given by Jonas Salk. He's right now, he's one of the top biologists. If all the insects were to die in the universe, then the universe, meaning, or rather this earth, will be without mankind in 50 years' time. We'll all die. All life will perish. Insects are keeping us alive. And you know what he goes on to say? If you can read it, he says, if all the human beings were to perish, in 50 years' time this earth will flourish. This is what you and I have to wake up and to understand this concept. So now, when you make a choice, you change the future beyond traditional curriculum. One lion will rule the world. You know who said this? This is Swami Vivekananda. And it is there in this book. In the second page, it's written down there. Have you noticed what's a lion, what's a fox? Foxy characters are very selfish. Tigers and lions kill, they eat a little bit and leave it and go away. The jackals and foxes, they carry it with them to their home. No? They are very sly. They don't trust anyone. They are very selfish. Have you noticed how many foxy characters we have all around? More or less all of our education system has made us very foxy. First, I think, famous management term, WIIFM. Have you heard this? Yeah?
What's it?
Thank you. What's in it for me? मेरे को क्या मिलेगा? Everybody is thinking about that. And this statement Vivekananda told in 1893, 11 September in Chicago World Conference. So we need to teach our kids, learning how to learn is the most important thing to learn. How do we do that? Don't worry, school is doing it. You also just continue to propagate. The right question is more important, is the right answer. The right question is more important than the right answer. You know, the passionate minded kid, this is in this book, it is here. Those of you interested, I'll show you the.
Yeah, at the back.
Where is it?
Back.
Ah, okay, yeah, thank you. Here's the book. Here is, he's a Nobel laureate. He was asked by he's a physicist. So after he got a Nobel Prize, the journalist came and said, "Sir, how did you become a Nobel Prize winner?" He's a Jew. He says, "My mother made me." I said, "How?" He said, "When every other child will come back from the school, mother used to say, 'What did you learn in the school today?' And not my mother. My mother used to ask me, his name is Sir Robbin. He used to say, 'Did you ask a good question today?' Learning to ask a good question made me a questionnaire, a physicist. So this is what is our school education goes on today. Now, this is Thomas Alva Edison I talked to you about. Beaten a school for asking too many questions. We have a few more slides. If you have any question, I can see it's past 12 or 5 past 12. And we will take it on the next Saturday or Friday, whichever the day that school will decide. I would love you to keep on sending a question. Do try to encourage, excite somebody. Come and say, you know that guy, Robbin Ghosh, he keeps talking about something. Would you like to come with me and evaluate him and tell me if he's okay or not okay? Just do that. Don't worry. Okay? I have met many parents such as that. Now, tell me. You all can send your question. There's a Google link which will be going to you. And I will try and address all the questions and in brief, because each one of the questions is so large, and it is a genuine question from you. You can go on for 1 hour on that question, but we will satisfy each one of them. Second thing is, do encourage others to attend and take up the study. What you and I could never be, our children can be. Today, I have no doubt, absolutely. And who are we? Hey, you and I are blessed. We are great kids to have these kids. There are many parents who don't have kids. And there are many parents who have kids who have gone. If you find somebody who says, my son is like this, my daughter is like that, why don't you tell them? Why don't you come down and have a chat with Shada ma'am? I don't know if you know when Shada ma'am started her journey, she didn't know ABC in English. Did you know that? And not long ago, just 20 years ago. She didn't know ABC of English. She's gone ahead. Just think, what tenacity. I really hats up to her. She finished her BA in English from Pune University. She finished her BEd. She finished her MA. She finished her MPhil. She finished her MEd. And now she is doing her PhD in counseling psychology with France. She is doing her English as special language with Harvard. She has already finished one with Harvard, one with Oxford. Great achievement. I'm trying to tell you, are you all aware that 23rd of Jan 2023, she got the top principal award in the country. And you know, 8th of July 2022, she got her first one, top principal in the country. If you go to her office, you will see those. One is by Shankaracharya, one is by Center Delhi. 4 times before that, she got the top teacher award in the country. Who are these people? I asked myself, how did I get connected to her? How did I get connected to all of us together? We have work to do. Thank you very much.